Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Sunday. Got a nice NFL slate today. A lot of good action on the board, so be sure to like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below to get in on the action today. And also go and become a member, guys. Love to have you guys be a part of the community. And go ahead and sign up with BroThrow. Got my free private betting group on the app. Going to be posting a teaser again today. Didn't do well on the teaser yesterday. We had Washington totally sell the teaser. Otherwise, it was a perfect day. But we're going to close the week out right today. And then also go, BroThrow, the number one place to bet. Not a sports book. Awesome place to bet with your friends. If you guys love single bets, the best place to, you're going to save a lot of money betting on there, guys. And it's totally free to join. So go ahead and hop in there. No deposits required. And then, we'll hop in it, guys. Big slate today. Remember, first matchup, we got the New York Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. Remember, guys, this is a 9:30 a.m. for me Eastern time. So remember, this is a London game. So be sure to check your lineups for fantasy or place your bets in early. This is an early one. But we got the Packers opening up as an 8-point home favorite with the over/under at 41.5. Giants coming into this 3-1 covering the spread. Packers 3-1, 2-2 covering the spread. As far as injuries go, no Kenny Golladay, no Kadarius Toney, Wanda Robinson missing a lot of receivers. For the Packers, no real injuries for this matchup. The Giants coming off a 20-12 win against Chicago. Look, the Giants haven't really played anybody yet. I mean, they've beaten Tennessee and Carolina and Chicago, all teams that honestly aren't that good, to be honest. And then the Packers are on a 3-game winning streak after losing their opener, coming off a nice, hard-fought overtime win against New England, 27-24. Giants 0-6 covering the spread, 0-5 covering on the road. Not a good road team here. And gotta take the Packers here. I mean, at home, Daniel Jones coming into this banged up. Saquon will probably be able to, have a nice game against the Packers, but they're going to need a lot more. And, I just like the Packers at home. They're just playing, even though they are in London here, I do like the Packers. And I'm going to take them -8 or -9, whatever line you can find. I'm seeing 9s and 8s all around. But, give me Packers. And then throw them in your money line parlays. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings opening up as a 7.5-point home favorite with the over/under at 44. Bears 2-2, 1-2-1 covering the spread. The Vikings 3-1, 1-3 covering the spread. As far as injuries go, no major injuries for Chicago. No major injuries really for Minnesota either. Chicago coming off a 20-12 loss against the Giants. Minnesota coming off back-to-back, two win streak here, coming off a 28-25 win against New Orleans, then a 28-24 win against Detroit. Two really close games for the Vikings here. These teams did play last year, or the last time they did play. Vikings won both those matchups, 31-17. And then 17-9. I just don't trust this Chicago offense. It is so bad. The passing is absolutely horrible. Chicago's averaging 78 passing yards a game, guys. It's unreal. They are getting David Montgomery back, so that'll be good for them. But I'm gonna buy the point. I'm taking Minnesota -6.5 and rolling out the money line for your parlays today. Next matchup, we got the Detroit Lions versus the New England Patriots. Patriots opening up as a 3-point home favorite with the over/under at 45.5. Detroit coming into this 1-3, 3-1 covering the spread. The Patriots also 1-3, 1-2-1 covering the spread. We got Detroit coming off a 48-45 loss against Seattle. Patriots coming off a 24-27 loss against Green Bay. I mean, Detroit back-to-back games losing by 3 to 4 points. All of their losses so far this season have been 3 or 4 points. It's unreal. They're putting up so many points. The offense is great. As far as injuries go, no DJ Chark, no DeAndre Swift. It's looking like Amon-Ra St. Brown could play today, which would be a big boost for that offense. Still no Mac Jones, so it's going to be Bailey Zappi, which played very good for the Patriots. And let's see. Yeah, I'm liking all Detroit's games have been so close, and it's hard not to like him here. As far as offenses go, both teams getting about the same amount of passing yards, but Detroit averaging 170 yards rushing, which is crazy. They're running the ball like crazy. Yeah, I'm taking Detroit plus, buying the half a point, taking Detroit plus 3.5 on the road. Trust Detroit a little bit more. Not in love with the Patriots offense here with no Mac Jones. Give me Detroit plus 3.5 on the road. Next matchup, we got the Houston Texans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags opening up as a 7-point home favorite with the over-under at 43.5. Houston coming into this 0-3-1, 2-1-1 covering the spread. The Jags 2-2, 2-2 covering the spread. As far as offenses goes, Houston averaging 204 passing yards, Jags 252 passing yards, and Jags averaging 123 yards on the ground, and Houston only averaging 83. As far as injuries go, maybe Brevin Jordan is out on offense at tight end for Houston. That's kind of one of the only bigger injuries. No major injuries. Some defensive injuries for the Jags here. We got Houston, on a 3-game losing streak, losing 34-24 against the Chargers. Jags losing, a close one, 29-21 against Philly. A game they did play good, but very bad weather. Yeah, I'm liking the Jags at home, man. They're playing good here. And I just like the offense. The offense is rolling. I mean, God, they've looked very good. Played very good against the Eagles. Really could have won that game if it wasn't for the mistakes they made. But I like Jags minus 6.5 at home. Throw them in your. I'm not in love with the throw them in the money line and parlays, but pretty cheap at minus 315 to be honest. Or 2-3 teamer. Yeah, I like the Jags at home, man. Playing good, defense playing good. Houston yet to get a win. Give me the Jags minus 6.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. The Chargers opening up as a 1.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 47. Chargers coming into this 2-2, 3-1 covering the spread. The Browns 2-2, 2-2 covering the spread. Offenses, Chargers averaging 297 passing yards. Cleveland 188, Chargers 59 yards rushing, and Cleveland 190 yards rushing. As far as injuries go, no Keenan. That's kind of really the main injury that's ongoing. Still Joey Bosa out for a while. Looks like Clowney is questionable, and so is Myles Garrett is going to be probable, so he should be good to go here. Chargers coming off a 34-24 win against Houston. Cleveland coming off that 23-20 loss against Atlanta. Yeah, I'm liking the Chargers here. They're 8-2 straight up against Cleveland, where they've dominated the head-to-head battle. And I just like the offense better. I like Herbert. They're going to pass the ball. And Cleveland's game plan is they're going to roll out Nick Chubb and control the clock, but only a 1.5-point spread here. Give me Chargers money line on the road. Next matchup, we got the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. Dolphins opening up as a 3.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 45. Dolphins coming into this 3-1, 3-1 covering the spread. The Jets 2-2, 2-2 covering the spread. Dolphins averaging 291 yards passing and 69 yards rushing. The Jets averaging 285 yards passing and 84 yards rushing. As far as injuries go, looks like Xavier Howard, their top cornerback, is questionable. We'll see if he does play. Still no Tua. And then for the Jets, don't see really any major injuries here. Miami coming off that 27-15 loss against Cincinnati. The Jets coming off that 24-20 win against Pittsburgh. Man, I think this is a great spot for the Jets at home. Without Tua, you saw the offense didn't look that great. And I just don't think it's going to be as efficient, to be honest. I know Teddy's more than capable to get a win here, 100%. I just don't know if Tyreek and Waddle are going to be capable. They are both those players are questionable, by the way. We'll see if they do play. But man, I really do think this is a little trap game for Miami coming in here. I like Jets plus 3.5 at home. I mean, they're playing decent. It's not the same old, Jets team that you bully around. Coming off a pit, they beat Cleveland. So they've got some good wins here. And yeah, I like them plus 3.5 at home. They're playing good. Zach Wilson looked pretty good last week. The offense is moving. I'll take Jets plus 3.5 at home here. Next matchup, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills opening up as 14-point home favorites with the over-under at 45.5. Steelers 1-3, 1-2-1 covering the spread. The Bills 3-1, 2-1-1 covering the spread. Pittsburgh averaging 182 yards passing and 90 yards rushing. The Bills averaging 329 yards passing and 112 yards rushing. As far as injuries go, Kenny Pickett is going to be the starter. Don't see any other major injuries here, Buffalo. No Jordan Poyer, Jay Camaro, Jamison Crowder, Dawson Knox. Missing some players on offense there. No Christian Benford at cornerback. Pitt on a 3-game losing streak, losing 24-20 to the Jets. Buffalo coming off a 23-20 win against Baltimore. What a crazy game that was. But yeah, I just don't trust this Pittsburgh offense. It's going to be very tough on the road. It would be different if maybe they were at home. I think they'd have a little bit of a chance with the spread. But on the road against Buffalo, going to be very tough. Yeah, I'm going to buy a half a point. I'm taking Bills minus 13.5 and throw them in your money line parlays today. Next matchup, we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the New Orleans Saints. Saints opening up as a 5-point home favorite with the over-under at 45. Seattle coming into this 2-2 covering the spread. The Saints 1-3, 1-3 covering the spread. The offense is Seattle throwing 221 yards passing a game, 74 yards rushing. The Saints 260 yards passing and 112 yards rushing. No major injuries I see for Seattle here. And for the Saints, no Jameis, no Michael Thomas, no PJ Williams, Peyton Turner, Calvin Throckmorton. So yeah, those are the main injuries. Looks like Kamara is good to go for the Saints. Seattle coming off that 48-45 win against Detroit. And then Saints on a 3-game losing streak. Coming off a 3-point loss against Minnesota. Seattle's playing good, man. Geno Smith's playing solid. I'm not gonna hype Geno Smith up, but he's playing good. The offense is actually playing, pretty good as the season's moving on here. Seattle's just playing pretty decent here. And 5 points on the road against the struggling Saints team with Andy Dalton at quarterback. Give me Seahawks plus 5 on the road. All right, next matchup, we got the Tennessee Titans versus the Washington Commanders. Tennessee opening up as a 1-point road favorite with the over-under at 43. Tennessee coming into this 2-2 covering the spread. Washington 1-3, 1-3 covering the spread. Tennessee throwing for 208 yards a game, 94 yards on the ground. Washington throwing for 255 yards a game and 86 yards on the ground. As far as injuries go, no Bud Dupree, Zach Cunningham, Joseph Jones, no Amani Hooker, a lot of key defenders out for Tennessee today. That'll be interesting to monitor. No Jahan Dotson, one of a nice rookie receiver for Carson Wentz here is out. Tennessee on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a 24-17 win against the Colts. Washington on a 3-game losing streak, coming off that 15-point loss against Dallas. I mean, yeah, Washington, they've struggled. They've gotten really no help from the line. Wentz is just getting murdered every single play, pretty much. I will say a lot of defenders out for Tennessee. I think this could be a nice showing for Washington here. Only a 1-point game. You would think it would be a little bit higher, but given the injuries, it's only a 1-point game. And not in love with it, but I'm going to take a shot with the Commanders money line at home here. I like the offense a little bit more than I do the Titans. I know Derrick Henry probably has a good game and runs all over Washington, but this Tennessee defense is missing a lot of people. And Carson Wentz, he's going to throw the ball a lot. And so yeah, I think I'm going to take Washington money line at home here. Next matchup, we got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Carolina Panthers. 49ers opening up as a 6.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 39.5. The Niners coming into this 2-2 covering the spread. Carolina 1-3, 1-3 covering the spread. The 49ers throwing for 172 yards and then 151 on the ground. Carolina 166 passing yards a game and then 96 yards on the ground. As far as injuries go, no Eric Armstead. That's kind of the bigger injury on the defensive side for the 49ers. Carolina, no major injuries really. We have 49ers coming off a huge 20-49 win against the Rams where they absolutely shut them down. Carolina coming off that 10-point loss against Arizona. This Carolina team's very bad here, and I like the direction that the Niners are, trending, starting to play very well, dominating on defense. That Rams team, it's going to be an ugly day for Baker. And give me 49ers minus 6.5. Throw them in your money line parlays on the road. Next matchup, we got the Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Rams. Rams opening up as a 5.5-point home favorite with the over/under at 42. The Cowboys coming into this 3-1 covering the spread. The Rams 2-2, 1-3 covering the spread. As the offense is Dallas throwing for 208 yards a game, 104 on the ground. The Rams 234 yards passing, 72 yards on the ground. Cowboys, man, they're playing good here as far as injuries go. Still no Dak. Jason Peters not going to make his debut here. The Rams, don't see any major injuries for the Rams here. Cowboys on a 3-game winning streak, coming off that 15-point win against the Washington. Rams coming off that horrible loss against the 49ers. Stafford's been struggling, man. It's been a rough time for Stafford here. Throwing picks, man. Throwing picks in the fourth quarter. It's been kind of ugly here. I'm liking the Cowboys. I feel like I should take the Rams, but Cowboys are just playing good. They really are. Rams, hard to trust. Very hard to trust. Cowboys D's playing good. They're getting to the quarterback. Stafford, man, he just hasn't been able to handle pressure this season. It's been definitely getting to him a lot. I think what I'm going to do here, you can take Dallas plus 5.5. Most bookies, I can usually get like a 1.5. I'm going to buy the 1.5. Obviously not a value play, but get Dallas plus 7. Which is mainly what you'll be able to do on most sports books. Get them plus 7 because I think it'll be a touchdown kind of game here instead of that 5.5. That's personally what I would do. I would take Cowboys plus 7. If you can get them plus 7.5, I like that on the alt line as well. Hopefully you can get them plus 7.5. If it's under minus 150, I would 100% take Dallas plus 7.5 on the alt line. That would be my play here. But yeah, we're gonna take a shot with the Cowboys on the road. They're playing good. Cooper Rush leading that offense. Give me Cowboys plus 7.5 on the alt line. Next matchup, we got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Arizona Cardinals. Philly opening up as a 5-point road favorite with the over/under at 49. The Eagles coming into this 4-0, 3-1 covering the spread. The Cardinals 2-2, 2-2 covering the spread. The Eagles throwing for 296 yards a game, 150 on the ground. Arizona throwing for 248, 105 on the ground. As far as injuries go, their kicker is out, and then Avonte Maddox is out, and then their tackle Jordan Mailata is out as well. Arizona, their kicker, both teams, their kickers are out, which is kind of crazy. Haven't really seen that much before. That's kind of some of the major no other major injuries there really. Philly on a 4-game winning streak. I mean, I think they're the only undefeated team in the NFL, playing great, coming off that, ugly Jags win, but a win was a win. Arizona coming off that 10-point win against Carolina. Yeah, I like Eagles -5 on the road. Too low. This Cardinals team is playing horrible. I just don't know how they're going to stop this Philly run game and Philly passing attack. This Arizona defense is very bad. It could be a game where Kyler's trying to lead an epic comeback late, and it's just going to fall short. Give me Philly -5. Throw them in your money line parlays today. Next matchup, we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks opening up as a 10-point home favorite with the over-under at 46.5. Falcons coming into this 2-2, 4-0 covering the spread. The Bucks 2-2, 2-2 covering the spread here. Offenses, we got Atlanta throwing for 197 yards in the air, 156 on the ground. Tampa throwing for 211 yards per game and then 86 on the ground. As far as injuries go, nor Cordero Patterson, that's kind of the bigger injury, and Kyle Pitts. But 2 big playmakers out for Atlanta today. Tampa Bay, no Logan Ryan. That's kind of one of the bigger injuries. Looks like all the receivers are good to go. No Cameron Brate, but yeah, looking like all his weapons are good to go today. Atlanta coming off a 2-game win streak, 23-20 against Cleveland. Tampa on a 2-game losing streak. A rough 2-game losing streak against pretty elite teams, losing to the Chiefs and the Packers. I mean, it is what it is. I like the Bucks at home. I know Atlanta, they're sneaky. They're 4-0 covering the spread here, but without Pitts and Cordero Patterson, if both of them were playing, I would love Atlanta plus the points, but 2 big playmakers on that offense here. We're going to see who can lead them offensively with, those are 2 big pieces. And I like Tampa -9.5, buying the half a point at home. I think it's a huge bounce back game for Tampa. And coming off the 2 losses here, I think they take it out on Atlanta. I think Atlanta could be one of those, they get a backdoor cover in the end, some garbage time potentially. I don't hate the 10, by the 10.5. I don't hate it, but without Cordero and Pitts, hard to trust Atlanta without their big playmakers. I'm going to take Bucks -9.5 and then throw them in your money line parlays at home. And the last matchup, we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens opening up as a 3.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 47.5. Bengals coming into this 2-2, 2-2 covering the spread. The Ravens 2-2, 1-1 covering the spread. Bengals, where are we at? Bengals throwing for 257 yards a game, 89 yards on the ground. Baltimore throwing for 245 and then 135 on the ground. As far as injuries go, no major injuries for T. Higgins is good to go. That's probably the only concern a little bit. And Baltimore, no Justin Houston on defense. Rashad Bateman is out, and then Ben Cleveland, their guards out. So a couple little injuries there. We got Cincinnati on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a 27-15 win against Miami. Baltimore losing to Buffalo 23-20. What a tough loss for Baltimore. That last game, against Buffalo on the goal line, they went for it for some reason. Could have been up by 3 and potentially got a stop, and they just didn't. I don't understand that. Horrible play calling there. But I do like Baltimore at home here. Sunday Night Football. I'm buying the point, taking a -2.5. Even a money line play I don't hate either, but Lamar Jackson prime time. I just think it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to come down to the 4th quarter. Don't hate Bengals +3.5 either. I think it's going to be a field goal kind of game. I think it's going to be whatever team has the ball last is going to be driving to either tie it or take the lead. I'd like Action Jackson on prime time here, and I'm taking the Ravens -2.5 and money line at home. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Sunday. Hope you guys all cash out today. Close the week out right, and I'll see you guys Monday. Have a good one.